My name is Justus Knight. This is Restricted Republic. Welcome back. Can't thank you enough for being here and prepare to have your mind blown. Insanity involving the FBI again. I know that's going to shock you, right? As it involves the Mar-a-Lago event. Well, I'm going to report to you who paid for it and what they paid for. And when you find out something that very few, if any, have put together yet, mind blown will be the exact conclusion. And then we're going to follow this over at Restricted Republic. Exclusive content, of course. The Moderna and Pfizer catfight begins. All about the vaccine, of course. But you see, there's a lot more to that story. And when you find out the definitions and details and what they can do and you can't, man, new whistleblower coming out, exposing things that we've been reporting on for years, and we're going to cover that in the second half at Restricted Republic. If you haven't gotten to Restricted Republic yet, what are you waiting for? Get on over, join the platform. So many thousands have come over because they want their news, no commercials, no here. Whenever you redact the reason for your redactions and then question why the American public are questioning you, well, I call you into question. Have some sense and sensibility, but I know that's long since left the building. But let's move forward into the portion of this story that so many aren't aware of. It starts here in some ways. You saw, according to CBS Miami article titled, well, I'll show you the article, Moving Trucks Spotted at Mar-a-Lago. So the reason for the whole Mar-a-Lago event, one of the reasons cited, is that CBS News Miami reported that there was moving trucks. That's right. Outside of Mar-a-Lago, the date will make you laugh. At least 2 trucks with boxes of items, a large security presence. Whether President Trump can make Mar-a-Lago his permanent residence is still unclear. So what was their concern in this article? Well, the FBI cited it. It must be important, right? January 18th, 2021. Moving trucks spotted at Mar-a-Lago. Boy, that's just 2 days prior to something else, isn't it? That's right. When Trump left the White House. So he wanted some of his goods and materials at the home he was going to reside prior to him arriving. Bombshell, isn't it? In depth, isn't it? Not nearly the story, though. Just one of the many scratch your head moments that you're going to come across. An informer told the FBI what docks Trump was hiding and where. Are you so sure? Who was that informer? What department was he involved with? We actually know that information, but again, irrelevant to the larger story. The larger story is so much easier, well, and mind-blowing than that. Return of documents to archives viewed as routine and no big deal. Well, that's how this all started. There was some level of cooperation going on. But what made the archivists change so quickly? Go to the FBI, Department of Justice, say we immediately need to get there. In the first set of boxes that were returned, they found such important things as, well, raincoat, golf balls, a razor, and also per the DOJ filing, other random papers jumbled in with 184 individual documents. Now, this is one of the more important little bits. It's what they're focusing on with unchanged classification markings. Now, that, if you just read those 3 words alone, is what they're going to attempt to focus on. Unchanged classified markings. Why is that so important? Well, it appears, and you've heard all the mainstream pundits discuss this, don't let Trump graymail his way out from under the Espionage Act. Well, there's one problem with that statement. Because if you see the Espionage Act, 18 U.S. Code 793, gathering, transmitting, or losing defense information. Within it, it states 18 U.S.C. 793 does not use the term classified information, but rather criminalizes the unlawful retention of information relating to the national defense. Now just put that into perspective with all the pundits that you've heard talking, and now you understand why they'll eventually veer away from the classification discussion. But now here's where things get weird, right? Further, there is probable cause to believe that additional documents that contain classified NDI or that a presidential record subject to record retention requirements. There's the key to the entire story, because when you find this out, man, you're either going to get really upset or you're going to start laughing and rolling on the floor. It's amazing how this government operates. So, subject to record retention requirements currently remain at the premises. There is also probable cause to believe that the evidence of obstruction will be found at the premises. Based upon this investigation, I believe that the storage room, that's right, Residential Hall, Pine Hall, the 45 office, and other spaces within the premise are not currently authorized locations. Is somebody seriously upset about where Trump is retaining the documents? If we go backwards, you know they already know where the documents were being stored. It's guarded now by Secret Service. It's double locked. But there's a special agent in charge of NARA's Office of the Inspector General sent NARA's referral via email to the Department of Justice. I wonder who this official would be. But there's something far bigger, something far easier, something you truly need to be aware of. Do you see this U.S. spending contract here? Department of Homeland Security, the DHS, $580,600. This is an award for that funding for Mar-a-Lago. Security system services except for locksmiths. Wait now. This is to provide Mar-a-Lago with a physical security build-out upgrade. I know. Just take that in for a minute. This was on July 28th of 2022. That was the end date. It was started on August 17th of 2021. They were building Trump a secure room. So I can actually go a step further too, because there was a secondary contract award. Oh, there's the details in case you want to dig in a little bit deeper. This is to provide Mar-a-Lago with a physical security build-out upgrade. $580,600. For something later, the Department of Justice decided they had the raid based on a government office funding a secure room. After which, NARA had already asked them to secure another room with Secret Service and double locks. But none of this is supposed to be called strange, right? Oh, besides the ADT contract here that was awarded for Mar-a-Lago ADT security system. And friends, it's in government documents. It's black and white from a government that is so concerned about security and how these documents were handled, but yet transmitted the very affidavit via, well, subscribed and sworn before me by telephone, WhatsApp. They used WhatsApp. This government's so concerned about security protocols that I think Trump is guilty. Trump is guilty of having built the security room that the government funded to build and putting the documents in the security room that NARA asked for, and then has to go and invade the very rooms that they helped fund and build. But it made it really easy to know where the documents were, I guess, huh? Wow, bad Trump. Bad. Serious. I hope you haven't heard this, and if you haven't, please put that in the comments, because when I came across this weekend, I was floored. And then I came across this too, just to add a little bit of fuel to the fire. And this was modified on 8/5/2022. I guess that was just 2 or 3 days prior to the event. This is a modification that the archivist shall establish standards for selective retention of records of continuing value and assist federal agencies in applying the standards to records in their custody. The archivist shall notify the head of a federal agency of any change or impending threat to this procedure. Boy, wasn't that convenient, but nobody knew it was coming, right? Biden didn't know, but they just happened to publish this 2 days prior to the event about a security room not being adhered to that the government paid for, and then paid for ADT to put more security in at Mar-a-Lago. That was allegedly the threshold for espionage across the world. After an initial review of NARA referral, the Federal Bureau of Investigations opened a criminal investigation. Well, I think there may need to be a few investigations open, but I think you might be looking in the wrong direction, because Breitbart's article helped trigger you too. It's hard to make this up. Unfortunately, you're not making it up. You're just reading everything that they've done and then try to create an illusion that it never happened. Just keep yourself quiet. Don't listen. Based upon this investigation, I believe that the storage room that we funded as the government at Pine Hall, the 45, and other spaces within the premises are not currently authorized locations that we helped build and that Trump told us were there. And maybe they just didn't want a Trump presidential library. Maybe they didn't want to bring any more attention to him. That would make more sense. They have not been handled in an appropriate manner or stored in an appropriate location that we helped build. We asked that the room at Mar-a-Lago where the documents have been stored be secured and that all of the boxes that were removed from the White House to Mar-a-Lago be preserved in a room in their current condition until further notice. That we helped fund, we helped build was later, another one of the rooms, double locked, guarded by Secret Service. But none of that was enough. You needed to make this a criminal event. Because it is so telegraphed right now. You can't hide from your own reality. Sorry, when you get that much bureaucracy, it's really easy to go ahead and tread right through. And this is only the first of the insanities we're going to be covering today, because shortly hereafter, probably around 1 o'clock over at Restricted Republic, you'll see post an article on this whistleblower involving the catfight between Pfizer and Moderna and what it uncovers and reveals. Man, I hate sitting here on this particular event and being able to say, we told you so. Because no one should ever say that with what has happened after all this has gone down. But when you hear what the whistleblower reports and what Pfizer and Moderna can do, but you can't, now that broadcast is plain and simply going to make you see red. That will be at Restricted Republic. I love you all. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justus Knight, signing out.